Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
Hey there, welcome into Golf Central. I'm George Savarickas. It is a major week on the LPGA Tour. We've got a lot to get to in the next hour of this show. Let's start with some of the headlines to look for at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. It was quite the way to get major number one for Brooke Henderson a year ago at Sahalee. She went toe-to-toe with Lydia Ko, beat her in a playoff with a birdie to capture the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. She is your defending champ this week. So Yeon Yu getting comfortable in her spot as the top-ranked player in the Rolex women's ranking. She got there thanks to a win at last week's Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship, looking to win her second straight major to start 2017. And Lydia Ko's trying to turn things around after facing a winless start to her year so far. She finished runner-up in this event just a year ago. So it's historic Olympia Fields opening their doors and hosting the first women's major in the club's 102-year history. This Willie Park Jr. design just outside the city of Chicago, first opened back in 1915, the first of two courses on the property. For more on the top three in the Rolex women's rankings, let's get out to Lisa Cornwell, who's covering this week's event at Olympia Fields. Lisa, take it away.
George, we'll talk about those three players in just a minute, but first of all, an absolutely perfect day for golf in this part of the country. It was Pro-Am Day ahead of the second women's major of the season, and it attracted some very big names that you'll recognize, such as former Secretary of State Dr. Condoleezza Rice and superstar athletes like Brian Urlacher, Greg Maddux, and Bo Jackson. But the professional golfers in the field still headline this event, including the big three you mentioned, all of whom have held the top spot in the Rolex World Rankings. At some point within the last 3 weeks, you talked about So Yeon Yu. She's at the pinnacle after capturing her fifth tour title Sunday in Arkansas. As you can imagine, all three of these ladies, all smiles, but especially new world number one.
Last week was, I was really thrilled to shot like 61. Then I was really thrilled to, won twice already on the LPGA this year. And I couldn't really think about the world ranking because I was 3, so I thought I was kind of far away from number 1. But yeah, here I am. I finally became a number 1. Then, as you said, dreams come true. I'm living in the dream. I feel very fortunate to, become a number one player in the world. And if I look back to all the previous number 1 player, they were such a nice players and they were such a nice person. So I really want to be nice player and nice person, and I want to keep this position much as I can, long as I can.
I think the most important thing is not about the ranking. It's more like how I'm gonna play golf. Like, I really want to be happy on the course and how I'm gonna handle all the pressure and how I'm gonna have fun. I think the ranking is just like, if I get there, I get there. If not, like, so what? I'm just gonna go out and have fun, do the same thing I've been working on since like last year.
I think we all motivate each other, and especially when we're playing alongside each other, it's really nice, when one player is on that birdie streak or playing really well, we can kind of feed off each other, and I think that's the great thing about our tour. And you see with the past winners before Soyeon, we had 14 different winners, and that's impressive, and I don't know if that's ever happened before, and it just shows the amount of talent and that everybody feeds off each other, and they're all really good vibes that we're feeding off. So now obviously I'm working hard to keep consistently putting myself in positions, and no matter what ranked player you're in, you can always get better in your game, and I think that's the great thing about golf. So that's what I'm going to continue to keep doing.
George, also involved in the Pro-Am today, the top-ranked American in the field, world number 4, Lexi Thompson. This is normally the day on Tuesdays before a major that Lexi does speak with the media, but she declined to participate in any pre-championship press conferences. She also, interestingly, declined a one-on-one interview with me for tonight's show, which normally happens again on this day. I did speak with her agent, who told me that Lexi is tired from some off-course issues that she's been dealing with. She's also a little worn out from the numerous requests that she says she continues to get about the rules infraction that happened a couple months back in the ANA Inspiration.
All righty, Lisa, appreciate it. Now joined by Matt Adams, Trip Eisenhower. Guys, pretty interesting stuff, to say the least. Your take on Lexi kind of just being over having to talk about the A&A.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we're going to continue to talk about it until she gets on the golf course in the first round of the next major championship. That's the media. That's what they do. It's just like Jordan Spieth at the 12th at Augusta and how it took till he got on the 12th hole again to finally get that behind him. I think it's smart of her to just say, look, I don't want to answer that anymore. I want to focus on playing some great golf. And playing great golf she has this year. And I always said after that incident, it could have gone one of two ways. I'm speaking when she was walking from the 12th to the 13th, the 12th green to the 13th tee at A&A, and they told her about the rules infraction, and she was shocked. There were tears there. Yeah. Understandable. But it could have gone two ways. She could have folded up and let those emotions overtake her or say, you know what, I'm going to try to win this golf tournament despite the penalty. And that's exactly what she did. She had an eagle putt to win it. And how has she done since then? Well, she's won. She's had a couple of second-place finishes. She did have one tournament well within her grasp a couple of weeks ago at the Manulife and ultimately three-putted the last hole to lose that one in a playoff. But I think she's got to say, look, my game's in a great place. I can't wait to get on the golf course on Thursday.
You know, she's 20, in her early 20s, already a major champion. She went through so much pressure already this year. I think that at times people forget that players are entertainers and not politicians. Will it damage her brand? Could it hurt her commercially to not talk to the media in a situation such as today's? Maybe, but that's her decision. I'm absolutely okay with her letting her clubs speak instead of going to the media until she's ready to do it. I don't think she's not going to do it again. I just think she's taking a breather, and that's okay.
I think selfishly we all want to hear from her, but it's totally understandable why you'd want to take a knee and say, you know what, I'm going to sit this one out. Yeah. I've only been bombarded for about 2.5 months now to keep on repeating the same subject over and over. Well, folks, on Tuesday, as we move along for a star-studded field at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship, the Pro-Am featured celebrities like former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice, two-star athlete Bo Jackson, who knows golf, and how about Greg Maddux, the Hall of Famer, former Cubby, U.S. Olympic figure skater Michelle Kwan, former NFL linebacker standout for the Bears, Brian Urlacher. You know, these fans support this week, and it's going to be a raucous crowd at Olympia Fields.
I don't get down south very much. It's a little far from my house. We had the U.S. Open here. Jim Fick won in whatever year it was, he won it here. So there's just some great golf courses here, and the fans come out for the events there. That's the main thing. You know, you get a lot of good turnout for the golf events.
I'm playing with Brooke Henderson. She's younger than my daughter, and pound for pound, she hits it further than anybody I've ever seen. So incredible how far she hits it, and obviously it's straight, and she seems like a very nice young woman.
Perfect transition from the professor. Greg Maddux as Brooke Henderson returns to defend her title, but with a full field of major champions, a repeat will not come easy. Don't miss the action at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. Our coverage begins Thursday at noon on Golf Channel and continues Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern on NBC. Still to come, it was a year ago, Jon Rahm made his debut on the PGA Tour as a pro. Now he's prepping for his first European Tour event as a member on European soil. We're going to have that, plus why is the reaction getting more buzz than the shot from Jordan Spieth? Check and Feinstein break it down in alternate shot. And we're checking out part 2 of our 3-part series on the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. A look at what Inbee Park was able to do.
Golf Central is brought to you by the Volkey Design SM6 wedges, progressive design, precision performance. Grip Confidence, Grip Golf Pride.